What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is Saturday. It is April 29th, and we are back with a 15-game slate for you. We've got 15 games to break down. Hopefully, we are able to break it down as easily as we possibly can for you. So again, as always, if you have questions, comments, concerns, like if you have questions about, hey, how do I build the lineups? What do I look for? Get those questions down below. Would love to help try and make you a better DFS player. If this is the first time you've been here before, what we're going to do is exactly what we just said. We're going to go through the entire 15 games, all of the pitchers, and what bats we like in those games. On top of that, if you need a little bit more, you want to see some more from us, you want to see some more information that we possibly have for you, all you really got to do, go check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. We have a bunch of stuff over there. And we can kind of go through it at the end of this video, kind of to just show you what we have and what you can expect over there at FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. So I'll just bring that over here now, and then we'll talk about it later. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. If you find this video helpful, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are zooming. We already zoomed past the 7,000 subscribers last week. We are on goal, on pace. We are wanting to get 10,000 YouTube subs before the All-Star break, which I think we can. Got about 2.5 months to go. I think we can get there. Same thing on Twitter. We want 10,000 over there at advisors_team over there. So let's jump right into it. If you want to win a free month of content, all you got to do is be a subscriber to the page, hit the like button, and tell me who's going to hit a home run and what inning they'll hit it in. You need both of those. I need the player and the home run. One person, one pick per person per day. You can win it every single day if you try. Also, if you want to win a free month of combined content, that's DFS and sports betting, all you got to do is get this video to 50 likes, and we will get that going. Hopefully that will be very soon. We'd like our first winner coming up. So good luck to everyone in our contest. Stick around to the end because we will show you what we're looking at on the website, and let's jump right into it. First game for the day, you got the Pirates at the Washington Nationals. You got Vince Velasquez versus Patrick Corbin. Now, you know what I'm going to say. If you've been here before, this isn't your first time here, and you've seen me talk about this pitcher, you already know what I'm going to say. On top of that, the Pirates have the best record in the NL, which is absolutely nuts. A month ago, at the beginning of the season, opening day, if you would have told me, hey, Pirates going to have the best record in the NL, I would have called you an absolute liar. I would have shunned you and probably burned you at the stake because that was an asinine statement, and I would have been wrong. It still doesn't make any sense to me, but we're going to dig into this game right here. And the thing I'm going to say is you absolutely know. We're going to take the hottest NL team against a terrible Patrick Corbin. Yes, we are stacking against Patrick Corbin every single time he is out there on the mound. Don't know how he hasn't been DFA'd yet. Madison Bumgarner got DFA'd. I realize the numbers. His contract's a little bit bigger than Bumgarner's, quite a bit bigger. Probably like double the price, I believe. So that is one reason why. But I'm taking the Pirates. I'll just look at the numbers, but I'm not taking Patrick Corbin. I'm looking at Vince Velasquez, 24 plate appearances, 200 batting average, 33.3 K percentage. I don't mind him. I'll throw him in a GPP or whatever. But I'm looking at Patrick Corbin here and stacking against him every single day of the week. So that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at the Pirates bats, and I'm stacking Patrick Corbin against there. So the numbers are 117 plate appearances, striking out about 18%, 243 batting average. I don't care about those numbers. The Pirates it's baseball. You take what you can get. You take the bats that are hot. McCutchen, 11 for 47, 2 doubles, 3 home runs. Hedges, 4 for 17 with a home run. Brian Reynolds, 4 for 10. Brian Hayes, 3 for 10. I mean, those are fantastic right there. It just depends. I don't know if Hedges will be in there. Just really depends on who's going to be out there. So I love if we're building that, I'm taking Kutch, I'm taking Reynolds, I'm taking Hayes, and then if you want to go 4 or 5 stack, it just really depends. Jack Sawinski's out there, Carlos Santana. It really depends on who the Pirates are going to be taking. I'm not looking at any Washington bats, and I'm not looking at Patrick Corbin at all. Then you've got to pay attention. So there's a second game here. Now, this is one we don't know what's going to happen since the game got canceled on Friday. So this is something to monitor. When you're building your lineups, when you're playing like the early only slate, make sure you've got the right bats in the right lineups there. So this is one where you got to do your due diligence and see what bats are going to be out there for this doubleheader. But this is the first game that I love here. Next game, Baltimore Orioles at the Tigers. Dean Kramer versus Matt Boyd. Dean Kramer's never faced them before. Matt Boyd, 15 plate appearances, 20K percentage, 231 batting average. Baltimore bats really just depends. Obviously, doesn't seem like there's been much there. Yeah, there hasn't. McCann, 3 for 8 with a double. I mean, that's 375 batting average. It really depends on what Orioles bats you want to take. I don't trust Matt Boyd, though, so I'll probably avoid a Boyd. I will look at Baltimore bats, and it really just depends on, you got to wait for the lineups to come out. Next game, the Royals at the Twins. You've got Brad Keller versus Bailey Ober. Keller, 148 plate appearances, 248 batting average, striking out 19.6% of those batters. On the flip side, Bailey Ober, 48 plate appearances, 18.8 K percentage, and a 295 batting average against him. Normally, I know those numbers are there. I normally say take a pitcher against Kansas City. You won't go wrong. I'll throw Ober in a GPP, but with those numbers, I just don't trust him in cash. Or I really don't trust Ober on this one. And there's just other pitchers we can take today. But just looking at the bats in this game, the Twins bats against Keller that have had success. Kepler, 7 for 21 with a double and 2 home runs, 333 batting average. Polanco, 5 for 20, a double and 2 home runs. You've got Willie Castro, 4 for 13 with a home run. Carlos Correa, 2 for 13 with a home run. So there are just some bats there. It really depends on who's going to be out there. I don't mind a Joey Gallo in there for GPP just because he seems like he's hitting home runs all the time. Kansas City bats, I think this might go under owned just because if people don't dig into these numbers like you guys do because you're here watching what we have, I don't mind looking at these bats here. The numbers could be inflated, though. Yeah, I mean, they haven't really seen him much. Salve Perez, 2 for 6, a double. That's really it. MJ Melendez, 1 for 6. It is a home run. Franmil Reyes, 1 for 2 with a home run. Bobby Witt Jr., 3 for 5 with a triple. I don't mind him, especially if he gets on base. You get a stolen base for you. So, yeah, those numbers are a little bit inflated because they've seen him about an equivalent of about a game and a half worth of plate appearances. So that's not much. I will take Bailey Ober in GPPs. I just don't like him enough to throw him in cash. Mariners at the Blue Jays. You've got Chris Flexen versus right now to be announced. Flexen against the Blue Jays, 75 plate appearances, 277 batting average, striking out 22.7% of those batters that he has faced. Break it down a little bit. Matt Chapman is 4 for 13 with 2 home runs, batting .308. George Springer, 3 for 11 with a home run. Bo Bichette, 2 for 9 with a double and a home run. So both of Bo's hits have been extra base hits against him. Vlad's 4 for 6 with a home run. Dalton Varsho, 1 for 5. That one hit was a home run. Kevin Kiermaier, 1 for 2 with the triple. So a lot of the bats have been extra base hits against him. I would be looking at stacking Toronto, especially at home here. Don't know who's going to be pitching for Toronto, so we'll kind of wait and see there. But if I'm taking one, definitely be looking at a Toronto stack against Flexen. Braves at the Mets is next. Spencer Strider versus Tyler Meagle. Strider, 61 plate appearances, striking out 31.1% of those batters, a 273 batting average. And then Meagle, 46 plate appearances, a 238 batting average, striking out 32.6% of those batters here. Honestly, I like both of these pitchers. I love Strider in cash. I love Meagle in GPP. Strider against the Mets. Brandon Nimmo's 4 for 9 with a home run. Lindor's 4 for 9 with a triple. Alonso 1 for 6 with a double. Canna and Jeff McNeil both have doubles. So does Eduardo Escobar. So that's kind of where the numbers are at. So we're looking at these numbers, and we can kind of just see, yeah, they're inflated a little bit, but overall, I'm taking Spencer Strider here. The Mets have they're going to Met this season. We know that. I love Spencer Strider for GPP, or for cash, Meagle for GPP. With these numbers here, the Braves bats that have had success against him. Austin Riley batting .231, 3 for 13 as a home run. Ozzie Albies, 4 for 13 with a home run. And that's it for extra base hits. So, obviously, those two have seen him a ton. Other than that, the numbers aren't that good, and his numbers might be a little bit better. So, in theory, just looking at the numbers, we're a little bit scared of it. But when we're going to just take that through, I'm taking Strider in cash. I'm taking Meagle in GPP. Cubs at the Marlins is the next game. We don't currently have who the Cubs are going to throw out there for pitching. And we have Edward Cabrera, 22 plate appearances, .059 batting average, and a 36.4 K percentage. So those numbers are fantastic against the Cubs. Let's see if they're just a couple players or the whole team. I mean, yeah, you've got a bunch of players that played for other teams. No one's really had success against him. He's got 8 strikeouts in 22 plate appearances. So basically 1 start under his belt. I honestly would lean towards Cabrera here. GPP. I don't trust him in cash, but I would look at him in GPP. Next game up, Cincinnati Reds at the Athletics. Hunter Green coming off an extension against Kyle Muller. Neither of them have seen much. Hunter Green, 8 plate appearances, 143, striking out 37.5. These are magnified due to the small amount of at-bats and plate appearances that we've seen. And then Muller, same thing. 8 plate appearances. Hasn't struck any of those out, but a 143 batting average. So that's probably, I'm guessing, 1 hit and 8 plate appearances. That's what I would assume. Let's just double check to make sure. Yeah, 1 hit and 7 at-bats. So looking at those, honestly, I would take Hunter Green here. He's got the upside of the strikeouts. He's hitting 100 miles an hour. It's Oakland. This is in Oakland, which you guys know if you've been here for a while, that is one of my favorite ballparks because it's a trash ballpark, and the pitching, it's a pitcher's park. It is a massive ballpark. So taking Hunter Green in this one, cash or GPP, I don't care. SP1, SP2 on DraftKings. I'm not looking at Muller. I'd maybe look at Muller for GPP. Just because it's Cincinnati, but they've been hitting as well, and this is a pitcher's park. But I would probably lean towards Hunter Green and cash, and Muller and GPP. Next game, you got the Guardians at the Boston Red Sox. Zach Plesac versus Garrett Whitlock. Plesac, 29 plate appearances, a 192 batting average, striking out 13.8% of those batters. Flip side of that, Garrett Whitlock, 26 plate appearances against him, a 280 batting average, striking out 30.8. So looking at the Boston bats that have had success, it doesn't look like very many have. Devers 2 for 6 with a triple. Verdugo 1 for 5 with a double. And then, yeah, that's basically it. Red Sox, their offense is they're either on and hitting or they're off and they're losing the game. I don't mind either of these pitchers in GPP. I won't have either of them in cash, though, that's for sure, but I will look at them in GPP. And then Garrett Whitlock, 26 plate appearances, 280 batting average there. So what Guardians bats have had success against Garrett Whitlock? Zunino's 0 for 5, Miles Straw's 3 for 5, 1 for 3, 1 for 4, 1 for 1, that's it. Like I said, both are GPP options for me. Both are SP2 options for a little bit salary relief once we get to the higher priced guys on this day. The Phillies at the Astros, you got Zach Wheeler versus Christian Javier. Wheeler, 31 plate appearances, 222 batting average, striking out only 9.7%, which is very low for him. Javier, 30 plate appearances, a 172 batting average, striking out 40% of those batters. Most of this probably came in the World Series last year. So kind of just looking at that. Brandon Marsh, 4 for 8 with a double, batting .500. Christian Pache is 1 for 2, batting .500. Then the rest are 0. So it's really 2 guys. Other than that, Javier has had huge success against them with 12 strikeouts. Definitely looking at Javier here because he has success against them, and the strikeouts are there. And with DFS, when you're building lineups, when you're trying to get fantasy points, strikeouts are king. Strikeouts are going to get you those fantasy points we need. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Javier. I probably won't have much exposure to Wheeler. I know the numbers are okay, but the strikeouts aren't there. If you want to twist my arm, I would say Javier and cash. I would say Wheeler, GBP only. Giants at the Padres is next. You got Sean Manaea versus Joe Musgrove. Manaea, 104 plate appearances, a 305 batting average against him. So he's been hit really hard this year. Then his last outing came in relief. I think it was 1.1 innings or something like that, and he had 6 ERA. I think he gave up a run or two. And now it is a pitcher's park, but Padres are good against lefties. And we'll look at the numbers. A 305 batting average in 104 plate appearances. I'm absolutely looking at a San Diego stack here. And then Joe Musgrove, on the other hand, 173 plate appearances, 24.9 K percentage, 243 batting average. I'm looking at Musgrove here for pitching. I'm looking at the Padres as a stack. I would like this. Oh, actually, this game is in Mexico. They're playing in Mexico. Forgot about that. So the elevation is going to be high. The home runs could be up there as well with think of it like when I think this is in Mexico City, and think of it like when the NFL goes there, the kicking is better because I can't remember if the elevation there is higher than in Denver or not. I don't recall. That is definitely something that you'll probably be hearing other people talk about, but brings me down a little bit to Musgrove only for GPP just because of the elevation. It's kind of like playing in Coors. It's really hard to want to take a pitcher in Coors. So looking at that, I'm looking at Musgrove in GPP. I'm not looking at Manaea. Let's see what bats have had success against the Padres. You got Nelson Cruz, 8 for 25 with 4 home runs. Love him. He should be cheaper too, unless they price him up due to the previous matchups. Rugi, 4 for 20. Nola, 3 for 10 with a double. Machado, 4 for 11 with 2 doubles. Bogart, 6 for 11 with 2 doubles. Cronenworth, 1 for 7. Trent Grisham, 2 for 4 there. Bogarts has a home run as well. So, honestly, I would be looking at a stack here. I'd be looking at a Nelson Cruz, Machado, Bogarts, and then maybe Fernando Tatis or Jake Cronenworth or even Trent Grisham. So, yeah. 100% not taking either of these pitchers in cash. If you're twisting my arm asking me which one I would take, I would look at Musgrove here, but I wouldn't be looking at him in cash. GBP, and I'm not going to have any exposure to Manaea. The Yankees at the Rangers, we got Johnny Brito versus Nate Eovaldi. Brito never faced them before. He was lit up his last start. Yeah, I'm not taking either of these. Eovaldi here, being with Tampa Bay, and he pitched on the Yankees, but he was on Tampa Bay and Boston, so he's seen this team a lot, and they've hit him a lot. 193 plate appearances, a 306 batting average, striking out only 14.5% of those batters. Yeah, I'm looking at what Yankees. So let's dig in and see what Yankees bats have had success against him. Glaber's 8 for 38 with a double. DJ's 15 for 45 with a double and home run. DJ's on fire. Aaron Judge is 12 for 34 with 2 doubles and 2 home runs, batting .353. But the problem is, I don't know if he'll play. He left Thursday night's game with a right hip flexor discomfort or something along those lines. I don't know if he'll even play. If he does, it's going to be a DH. And seeing the interview, he didn't even know if he'd play this weekend. So this is something to monitor. Aaron Hicks, while the numbers are 4 for 20, he's terrible. Wouldn't put him on there. Rizzo, 8 for 18 with 4 doubles and 2 home runs. Rizzo, give me all the Rizzo. Higashioka, 3 for 9. It really depends on what catcher is out there for the Yankees. So looking at these numbers, looking at what I would build around, I'm probably looking at a Yankee stack tonight. DJ LeMahieu, Gleyber Torres, Anthony Rizzo. Volpe would be on there because if he gets on, he's stealing a base. So I like that. He's coming off. He's got a couple of home runs on the year, few doubles there. So that's what I'm looking at. So it would be Gleyber, DJ, Rizzo, and Volpe. If Judge is in there somehow, I'm getting Judge in there, but I just don't think he'll be in this game. So again, no Brito, no Eovaldi. I would be looking at the Yankees as pitching. And then you could look at Texas bats. It really just depends on what lineup they're going to get out there because Brito, he just doesn't look like a major league pitcher right now. The Rays at the White Sox is next. You got Yanni Chirinos versus Lance Lynn. Chirinos, 24 plate appearances, .217 batting average, only striking out 12.5%. And then you've got Lance Lynn, 29 plate appearances, .269 batting average, only 13.8% there. So not a lot to like, but the problem is Tampa Bay is just hitting the ball so well right now. Would not be surprised if they absolutely light Lance Lynn. So I don't know if I'm looking at White Sox bats. I'm not looking at either of these pitchers. I'm looking at the Rays bats against Lynn. The ones that have had success. I mean, they haven't seen him a ton, so that's a thing. You've got Manny Margot's 4 for 6, which is 667, and that's basically it. But the way these bats are going, Brandon Lau 2 for 6 with a home run. I would be looking at the Rays here. I think the numbers are going to be a little bit more deceiving just looking off the surface, and I would dig in. I would find out what lineup the Rays are throwing out there and get some exposure to them against Lance Lynn. You've got the Angels at the Brewers as the next game. Reed Detmers versus Corbin Burns. Detmers 9 plate appearances, 375. Those numbers are inflated. They don't see each other a ton. Corbin Burns 1 plate appearance, no hit. That's exactly what I would expect. I honestly don't mind Corbin Burns here. I don't mind either of these. I think Detmers would be more of a GPP option. I think Corbin Burns would be more of a cash option on this slate. Then you got the Diamondbacks at the Rockies. You got Tommy Henry versus Noah Davis. This game being played in Coors. Tommy Henry took over Madison Bumgarner's spot in the rotation when he was DFA'd. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I don't want exposure to either of these options. I would be looking at bats here. So looking at the Arizona bats, it really just depends on who's out there. Love me some Corbin Carroll in Colorado. If he doesn't hit a home run, he has a chance to get on base and get you stolen base. I think he has 10 stolen bases, 10 or 11 stolen bases on the year so far. Absolutely love that. So, yeah, I would be looking at stacking bats in this one. But, again, you're going to have the Coors effect where the prices are going to be super high. So that's something to think about when building the lineups. Then your final game on the slate, the Cardinals at the Dodgers. You got Jordan Montgomery versus Clayton Kershaw. You've got Montgomery, 59 plate appearances, a 164 batting average, 25.4 K percentage. Flip side of that, Clayton Kershaw, 191 plate appearances, 25.1 K percentage, striking out a batting average of 246 against him. So what Dodgers bats have had success against Montgomery? Let's dig in a little bit. JD, 3 for 26 with 2 doubles. All of those, that's 115 batting average. Those coming with Montgomery on the Yankees and JD on the Boston for the most part. Same thing with Mookie, 2 for 11, same thing. Trace Thompson, 1 for 1 with a home run. Miguel Vargas, 1 for 2 with a home run. So, yeah, I mean, these numbers are a little bit inflated because they haven't seen him very much, except these 2 players here. So that's why it's so low. So that's something to kind of monitor. I think he is more of a GPP option. I think Kershaw is more of a cash option. Bats against Kershaw, I'm just off the top of my head without even knowing or looking yet. I'm going to say Paul Goldschmidt probably has like 50 plate appearances and probably is hitting over 300 against him. Goldie, 68 plate appearances, batting only 206, 13 for 63, 2 doubles, 3 home runs. Nolan, I didn't even think about him being in Colorado. Yeah. I don't know how inflated this number is due to being in Colorado, but those numbers, 21 for 67, 3 doubles, 5 home runs. Nolan Arenado, love him there. Wilson Contreras, 7 for 25 with 2 home runs. And that's basically it. Paul DeJong, 2 for 8 with a double. And then Lars Nootbaar, 1 for 1 with a double. So other than that, I mean, yeah, you've got these 3 guys up top, Goldie, Arenado, and Wilson. Other than that, I do love Kershaw here. I wouldn't be surprised if you are playing the home run contest. One of these guys probably goes yard. One of these 3 will be my assumption. Wouldn't be surprised if it's Goldie or if it's Arenado in the first. But yeah, those are all of the batters and pitchers on this slate that we're looking at. And like I said, if you stuck around, we're going to talk about FantasyTeamAdvisors.com and what you can find here on the website. So any given day, we're going to have an article out there. We're going to have this video. And then the MLB tab, we've got BVP. So what we just went over, we're going to have every single BVP on the slate. Everything that we've got shown right now are going to be from Friday's slate. But you can look. We got BVP, got all of them. And then we broke it down by position. So go check that out. Stolen base targets. This is huge for people who are looking for some sports betting and some prop bets for stolen bases. You can look at the runner stats, the pitcher stats, and any historical matchups if they've stolen bases or not. We've got the cheat sheet, which is you got to be signed in to. This is the premium content brought to you by FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. You got the betting odds here. So you got these betting odds. This is from Friday, but yeah, so it's showing the time, the team, the opponent, and we have it sorted by implied runs. So yeah, in Coors Field is where we're looking at for this game. Then we've got the ballpark rankings. So looking at the ballpark rankings, people have been asking us for what does this mean? What are we looking for when we're going through this? So this just shows you the ballparks, the weather, the home pitcher, the away pitcher, the games this year. So 13 games being played at Target Field. And then you can really sort it by however you want. So if you want to sort it by how many runs, the most amount of runs in the league, you can see that Fenway has given up or had a total of 148 total runs. So that would just be, let's look and build around. Let's stack some of these teams, and you can kind of go through there. How many total home runs? Just really looking. So yeah, Fenway's given up 35 home runs, which obviously not surprised about that. So yeah, just kind of go through and you can see the numbers that help you building your lineups or sports betting. We've got the optimal stack. So depending on if you're playing like an early only slate or a main slate and however many there are, DraftKings, Fanduel. This is historical from 2019 to now. Number of games on the slate. So let's just say there's 8 number of games on the slate. You come over here on Fanduel, a stack, the winning stack in huge GPP large field. 38% of the time has been a 4 and a 3. So that would be like stacking 4 players on the Yankees against Evaldi. And then the next one would be 3 players against, in Coors. So whether or not it's one of the teams in Coors. So something like that. Those are historical stacks there. And then we've got FanDuel and DraftKings batter trends, which these are part of the premium content just because how inclusive it is. And it shows the batter trends on FanDuel and DraftKings for the last 50, 100, and 150 plate appearances for the batter facing a pitcher of the, whatever the pitcher's handedness is. So in this instance, looking at the Cardinals bats against the last 50, 100, 150 against a left-handed pitcher like Kershaw. And then you could sort it through there how you want. It's got a bunch of information there. So hopefully that helps you out. Hopefully you guys are excited. We have a great Saturday. Sorry the video is a little bit longer, but we are here. We're giving you as much information as we possibly can. If you need a little bit more boost, you go check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Go to FTA Plus. Sign up. You can get monthly pass for $19.99 or a monthly DFS plus sports betting for $39.99 and bring home some bacon. So yeah, that's all I've got in this video. Good luck. Be on the lookout for tomorrow's video. So next week, I don't know how much content I'll be putting out. I'm in a golf tournament all weekend. So I'm going to try to get all the information I possibly can out there for you early. So it really just depends on what it is. But again, thank you so much for watching this video. Every one of you subscribing lately has been awesome. We've really come a long way in the past, just since baseball started, to be honest. The past month has been crazy. Gotten over like 200 subscribers on the YouTube page just in the last like 2 weeks. Big shout out to everyone that subscribed to FTA Plus. I believe last week we had 15 people sign up, which was awesome. Keep it up. Keep it going. We're going to do contests throughout the year and just get excited for NFL. MLB is well underway, but NFL is our bread and butter, and I absolutely love bringing you guys DFS content for NFL. So that's all I've got in this video. Good luck today. Let's bring up some bacon. Peace.